The tiger's roar split the jungle like thunder. I ran barefoot through the ferns, my breath sharp in the cold air. Each step sank into the wet ground, each sound behind me growing closer. The forest wasn't quiet. It was alive. Dripping, breathing, watching. Branches clawed at my arms as I stumbled forward. I could feel the beast's breath, hot rotten, brushing the back of my neck. Then the world shook. A rumble, deep, low, powerful. The tiger stopped. So did I. The trees swayed as if the earth itself were moving. Something massive pushed through the fog. He emerged, black fur slick with rain, eyes glowing like molten gold. A mountain of muscle and scars. He wasn't human. He was something older. The tiger lunged, a blur of claws and teeth. But the giant caught it mid-leap, his roar splitting the sky. They crashed into the river, water exploding like shattered glass. He threw the tiger against a rock and silence fell. I froze, trembling, soaked and shaking. When his gaze found mine, I expected death. But instead, he looked away. He turned, limping into the mist. And for some reason, I followed. Days blurred together in endless rain. I built a small shelter beneath a fallen tree, half hidden by moss. Each night I could hear him, distant, breathing heavy, as if guarding me from afar. One morning I woke to find fruit arranged beside my fire. Fresh, peeled, clean. He had been here. That night I stepped out into the clearing. He was waiting. The moonlight poured over him, silver on black fur, eyes gleaming soft instead of fierce. I whispered, barely a sound. Kearu. The name drifted between us, carried by rain. He blinked, and for the first time I saw something gentle in his face. He followed me through the jungle, always at a distance. When I gathered fruit, he watched. When I slipped crossing the stream, his hand, massive, warm, caught me before I fell. He was careful, always careful, as if afraid to break the world he was part of. Each night I built a fire, and each night he came closer. Until one night he sat across from me. We didn't speak. The rain whispered instead, soft, endless, while his eyes flickered with reflections of the flame. I remember smiling. And I swear he almost smiled back. The days grew quieter after that. The jungle no longer felt like a cage, it felt alive, like it breathed with us. He'd bring fruit and fish, I'd gather herbs and wrap his old wounds. His body bore scars, dozens, some from battles long before me. Sometimes I'd touch one gently, tracing it with trembling fingers. He'd close his eyes as if remembering the pain, or maybe the comfort. At night I told him stories about the stars, about the sea, about the tribe I'd lost in the storm. He couldn't understand my words, but he understood me. Every tilt of his head, every soft rumble of his chest felt like an answer. One evening I fell asleep against his arm, and woke to find him still there, unmoving, guarding me like a promise. But peace never lasts. The jungle remembers its predators. The tiger returned, larger, hungrier, with a roar that shook the canopy. Kearu was gone hunting when I heard it. I ran toward the cliffs, the sound growing louder, closer, until I saw the flash of striped fur through the mist. It saw me too. I barely had time to breathe before it leapt. And then the mountain moved again. Kearu slammed into the clearing, roaring so loud that the rain seemed to fall backward. He tore the tiger from the ground, smashing it against stone. But the beast was faster this time. It clawed across his chest, deep, brutal. He staggered. I screamed his name, running toward him, but he thrust his arm out, shielding me. The tiger lunged again, jaws wide. Kearu caught it midair, the two colliding like storms colliding over mountains. Blood sprayed across the ferns. He struck once, twice, the sound of bone cracking echoed through the valley. The tiger bit down on his arm, but Kearu didn't stop. With a final roar, he crushed it beneath his weight. The forest trembled, then went still. I ran to him. He was bleeding, breath heavy and broken. The rain turned red as it fell over him. He looked at me, eyes clouded, fading. I pressed my hands to his wounds, begging, crying, whispering anything that might keep him awake. His hand, enormous, trembling, rose slowly. He touched my face. A single tear rolled down his fur. And in that moment I knew. He wasn't a beast. He was the purest soul the world had forgotten. I laid beside him, my head against his chest, listening to the rhythm slowing with each passing breath. When it stopped, the jungle went silent. No words, no rain, just the echo of his heartbeat fading in the distance. I buried him beneath the tallest tree near the waterfall. It took days. My hands bled, but I didn't stop. I planted flowers, red and white, the ones he once watched me gather. The jungle grew quiet again, but it never felt lonely. Sometimes, when the rain comes heavy and the wind howls through the valley, I hear it, that deep rumble in the distance. A promise kept beyond life itself. They say love belongs to those who understand it. But I've learned it belongs to those who feel it, even when words don't exist. Kaoru never spoke a single word. And yet, he said everything I ever needed to hear. In his eyes, I found the kind of love that no tribe, no age, no god could ever give, a love raw and eternal. The world will never know his name. But I will whisper it to the rain until the end of my days. Kaoru, the beast who loved me.